Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have Brio Box, which is a tech and gadget subscription box. It comes on a quarterly basis. It is not sent to me for review, but they are kind enough to give me a nice discount so that I'm able to afford it and share it with all of you. This is a box that I've been toying with, maybe putting on pause or ending my subscription towards the end of the year. It's a really cool box. It's a great gift box. Even if you're just taking some items out for yourself and some items out to re-gift to friends and family. It's just something that I don't necessarily need on a quarterly basis, but every time I say that I'm about to pause it or cancel it, they come out with a curation that is fantastic and a fantastic value, and so I get sucked right back in. So I always love to hear your comments if it is something that you would like to continue seeing here on the channel. It's a little bit different from all of the lifestyle boxes that I open here, and I know that for some of you it's the only place where you really see Brio Box. I do have an affiliate link and a code for you. Of course, if you can get a better deal, please do, but if you can use my links, it definitely helps me out in terms of continuing to get that discount and maybe eventually a little bit of a better one. So it is $169 per quarter. They're really good about letting you know when you're going to be billed and when it's shipping, if it's a little bit late. Every once in a while there's some customization. It's very random. I would say maybe like once or twice a year. Sometimes I've customized and I don't think I necessarily got what I chose. It's partially because I have been subscribed to Brio Box for a really long time, so there is some repeat. There's definitely some repeat in terms of companies that they include in the box, but I do find myself using some of the items quite a bit. So, and some of them I've never used before, so you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons of that. My code though is Noel15, and that will save you $15 on that $165. And of course there is a discount if you are able to do the annual subscription right up front. So this is their patent pending box. I think it's still patent pending. It's the one that my husband, he's always like, oh, it's that box, because even though it is very smartly created, this clamshell design, it is very hard to break down, but things come very protected. This is a difference. So they actually did a piece of paper with a seal this time around, and before they were doing like a drawstring fabric bag inside, and that was kind of what was keeping everything together. So I'm kind of interested if this is a permanent change. Maybe it just worked with this particular season because everything really fit in there nice and neat. And I will say that most of the time the items that come in this box come in their own boxes. So they have enough cushion and protection, I would assume, from that. There's like a little item right here. So I believe there are 7 products in this quarter's box. Some of them are bigger than others. Some of them are like kind of niche things. They do a lot of kitchen gadgets these days. Like there used to be, I would say, more like business oriented items, like digitizing your whiteboard, like little like corners, which I held on to that for my workplace. And now I don't know where they are. So it's probably like really outdated, but there are some really cool things that I've gotten. Some of the kitchen gadgets I have held on to as well, like an olive oil sprayer and stuff, just because I want to be like more eco-friendly, but I just haven't had a chance to use them because I have such a small kitchen. So this could be the perfect box for the right person. It's just in my very small work from home space. It's not necessarily something I need on a quarterly basis. So I might just kind of keep my eye on it and see what the spoilers are each quarter, because they do spoilers. All right, so they do a little QR code that tells you about the items. It says this season's box is packed with 7 clever premium gadgets designed to make life smoother and a little more fun. From keeping your car road trip ready to keeping flies off your lunch, each item is something you didn't know you needed but won't want to go without. And I feel like that copy right there comes right from my videos. It's absolutely how I feel about this box. It's things that I didn't know that I needed, and then there's a few things every quarter where I'm like, oh my gosh, this does make my life so much easier. But there are also, like I said, a few items where I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, but maybe I'll just hold on to it because maybe I'll need it eventually. All right, so the first thing is this electric air pump, which I think is pretty darn awesome. It looks like it's gonna work on your car, on your tires. I actually think we got the Inflate R before from a Brio Box, and my husband and I use that all the time because I have a really old car, and like I feel like the tire pressure on my tires is often needing a little update. But this is from a company called Hoto, quick, smart, and compact inflation solution. But I bet you could use it with all of your like summer toys and stuff too. So it has a value of $59.99. That's the highest valued item in this box. You guys, I did the math on this box, and the total retail value was like $205. So it's a really good value as long as you'll use, you know, slightly more than half of the items. So it says inflate anything, anywhere, and faster. Let's see, this has a seal. Let me see if I can open it up. The Hoto ADV air pump packs serious power in a compact cordless design that's perfect for road trips, beach days, or biking adventures. With digital controls, 5 inflation modes, and a sleek display, it makes it smarter than your average pump. So this is kind of great because then my husband can have the Inflate R in his car, and I can maybe have this nicer, newer one in mine. Of course, we have the ubiquitous charging cables. We have some information here. Oh gosh, there's all kinds of little like plugs and nozzles here, so I'm gonna have to look at that. So you can inflate things in seconds. It says, oh my gosh, there's just so much in terms of like all of these little things. High pressure output makes quick work of tires, balls, floaties, and more. Smart auto stop for safety included. Cordless and rechargeable. I'm trying to pull, there's like a little instruction manual. I'm trying to pull this out. It says digital display and controls, set exact pressure, view real-time PSI, and choose from 5 smart modes. Built-in LED light to illuminate your work area during nighttime inflations or emergencies. That's fantastic. Compact but mighty, small enough to fit in a glove box and strong enough to top off a car tire. So I know that like the Inflate R, for example, that we have, which is another pump that I think I got in Brio Box, you know, it does get kind of hot, and like it does, you know, you can only do so much on a charge. On that one, we can usually pump up all of my tires if they need just a little bit, all on one charge, but sometimes we need to do a couple different sets. The nice thing is you can usually charge it with an external battery pack. I'm just trying to pull out this box, you guys. There were so many little like things, and I'm not sure what they all are. So I'm just gonna slide this whole case out. And of course, I'm going to have all the fun trying to put it all back together. But my husband is like the worst about that kind of thing. He will totally take everything apart. And I'm like, I need to know how it goes back in the box, buddy. But yeah. All right, so this is what I think the main component. This is so cool. All right, this is very small and compact. That's probably the screen where you get the reading. It looks like an old iPod, doesn't it? It totally looks like an old iPod. That is really cool. It's pretty heavy, but it is very small. And I think it's a great thing to have in your car, but also, like they said, for like floaties for summer, that's amazing. So we have a couple like road trips and kind of outdoorsy camping adventures coming up. So I will definitely pass that on to my husband to figure out, and he can show me how to use it. But most of the time, if I can, I usually just pass the job on to him. So I do like that they gave you a little like instruction manual. So if you are out and you're having an emergency, you have the, you know, paper version of it too, and you don't have to have like, you know, service to get the QR code to come up and all the things. So that's really nice. This is an item. The next thing that I'm going to show you is something that we've gotten before. Luci is a company that is featured in Breo Box all the time. These are the Luci solar string lights. They are 18 feet. It has a value of $54.95. It says light up summer nights with the Luci solar string lights, a solar powered rechargeable light set that turns any outdoor space into a cozy escape. With 18 feet of warm LEDs and a built-in charging bank, it's your go-to for campsites, patios, or evening adventures. It definitely goes along with our dream of having like a camper van, really setting up your cute little camping space nicely with these LED string lights. We will probably take them along with us. I think we're staying at a couple of spots where we'll be like in an Airstream and kind of be doing the glamping thing. So I'm excited about that, and it's always nice. They usually have everything pretty set up, but it's nice to bring your own extra lights. So 18 feet of ambient light, solar or USB rechargeable. I like to have the option. Built-in power bank, like they said, and then compact and tangle-free because it does kind of go on like a disc. And there are 3 light modes and even a flashing mode, so you can set the mood. So again, it's one of these boxes that's got all the things, but I know that we have one set of these. So here is what you can see. So here is a nice cord, so you can hang it if you want to. Here is the solar pad for charging, and then this usually unscrews. This is the power, let's see. So it pops up like this, and you can see there are the cords with the little lights strung all along that mint rope. So I do love that that just closes like that, and it's really easy and compact, and then it will go right around that spool once again when you are ready to pack up camp. So that's a really cool item. I think that's awesome. Love all the solar powered stuff, but also with the option of charging it with a cable. So this is another item that's kind of a kitchen thing. The box kind of was open, but I've wanted one of these for a really long time. It's just one of those fans that rotates. You see them at restaurants that have outdoor patios a lot to keep the flies away. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And then there's these little floppy blades that float around and keep the flies off of your food. So it has a value of $14.95. This is from a company called Shoo Away. Say goodbye to waving your hands over guac and cocktails. The Shoo Away fly fan keeps pesky insects at bay with soft spinning blades that deter flies without chemicals, swatting, or awkward shooting. It says repels flies naturally with safe, soft touch blades. Gentle, silent operation, built for the outdoors, safe around food and kids. And it is, they are saying it is one of the original ones. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I'm just gonna pull this out. It's definitely had some issues in shipping, but I think you just set it up. It looks like it's battery operated. So there are batteries that go down in there. And then of course these just extend and they float around like helicopter blades. So I thought that was cool. This is a little Keysmart nano stylus. This has a value of just $6.99. This is the lowest valued item in the whole box. Your touchscreen's new best friend, the nano stylus from Keysmart, adds precision and cleanliness to every tap, swipe, and scroll. It's always where you need it without ever getting in the way. So you can just add this, of course, to your keychain. Tap without smudges, ultra compact design, keychain attachment, universal compatibility, precision at your fingertips. So basically it's just like, it's almost like the eraser at the end of a pencil, but it allows you to touch your screen, and it does work like a fingertip, but with a little bit more control, because sometimes we have fat fingers, or sometimes you know, sites are not necessarily optimized for our fat fingers or for mobile, so it's easier. Or if you're like drawing, or my thing that I love to use a stylus for is when you have to do your electronic signature and they have that big field and it always doesn't actually look anything like your signature. So a stylus is really great for something like that. It's nice to have that on your keychain. This is, I'm guessing what this is, the Snap and Charge by a company called Static, which I really love all of the charging things that we've gotten from them. My husband really loves them, especially. So this has a value of $29.99. No more tangled cords. This compact power bank. And you know, there was a recall on all those Anchor power banks. So this is a great thing to have. Snaps magnetically to your device for effortless charging on the go, at home, or wherever the summer takes you. So let's see. Magnetic snap-on charging. So we've got a bunch of different charging. I think this is for the bank, to actually charge up the bank. And then this is so tiny and small. That's so cool. I'm not really sure what this little attachment is for, but it looks like this is where you charge. Let's see. Magnetic snap-on charging instantly attaches to your phone with secure magnetic tips. I'm wondering what the tips are. So it says no cords, no mess, just seamless wireless power and 3 connectors. So they did give us the 3 connector tips there. USB-C and lightning adapters. Charge virtually with any devices. Use your Android, iPhone, tablet, PS, Xbox controllers, Windows, Linux, Apple, Samsung, Motorola, Lenovo, LG, everything. So this is the charging cable, and then these are the little ends that you can then attach, I think, right here. I'm not sure. Let's see. Pocket friendly power, slim lightweight design for easy carry, and 3000 mega AH capacity. I should know what that is. So yeah, it looks like you just attach the end to that little circular part right there, and that is your attachment, so you don't have to have any cords. Pocket friendly power, slim lightweight design. It's not that lightweight. It's still a charging, it's still a charger pack, so it's still a little hefty, but it is really small, and it does have an LED power indicator, they're saying, for a quick glance at your battery level. So we do have those 3 ends, USB-C, lightning cable, and then it looks like it just attaches. Woo! It just attaches right there, so that's where you charge it, and this is where you attach that, and you just plug it right into like the bottom of your phone or your tablet or what have you. and it is very magnetic. So no more cables. That's actually a really awesome thing to have. And I'm not sure what this is. I think maybe you get to attach the other ends to this little guy. Maybe this is how you store them. I'm guessing. Yes, they like kind of fit right into there. It looks like they fit right into those little circles, and that's how you can store them so that they don't get lost like that. I'll probably do it a little bit better in a second. All right, we do have a couple more things. We have this giant cafe cold brew coffee maker, which has a value of $27.99. Skip the coffee shop and craft your own smooth, refreshing cold brew right at home. The cafe cold brew maker makes it easy to chill out with less acidity, more flavor, and zero effort. I do like cold brew. It says, note, your version may vary slightly in appearance, but all models deliver the same great results. So I didn't actually get the pictures when I copied the copy. Smooth cold brew at home, generous capacity. So it's kind of like, I always just think of a cold brew situations as like a really fancy French press these days, or like an iced tea maker. I do love that this is glass, and of course this is fantastic for the summertime when you might not be wanting hot coffee all day because it is pretty hot. So I love that. It says add 1 cup of coarsely ground coffee beans for every 4 cups of water. Pour in the cold or room temperature water. Refrigerate for 8 to 24 hours so you can get a really nice strong one. Remove the filter, which you can see is just like that centerpiece, and serve and enjoy. So you can probably do it right out of this pitcher. Here's the lid, and then I'm trying to see how you pull the filter out. Let's see. I'll probably have to figure it out later, you guys, because I'm always trying to figure out these gadgets on camera and trying to keep them all straight. At least this one doesn't have a charger like everything else these days. So you can see there's like the mesh on that filter. You could probably do a lot of other things in here too. Like I said, it's kind of like, you know, an infusing pitcher essentially. So you could put like fruit in there if you wanted to as well, or some tea bags. You could probably do a bunch of different things, but I'll definitely read the instructions to learn a little bit more about it. And then, like I said, you can probably, once you take that filter out, I bet that screws right back on, and you can use it as your pitcher for your cold brew. So you can make one big batch every night before you go to bed. We've got one last item, 7 items in this Brio box this time around, which is quite a bit. And this is the Keysmart Recover ID for your keys. So another thing to go on your keychain along with your stylus. So it says, give your lost keys away back home. Oh, wow, this is really small. It literally looks like just a small piece of metal. They did have that keychain ring here. Lost your keys, bag, laptop. The Recover ID is your silent lifesaver. This sleek, scannable tag links to a secure recovery system that helps Good Samaritans return your lost items without revealing your personal info. So it's basically a lost and found. It's got an online recovery profile so that people can scan it. There's a QR code. They can scan it. It'll allow them to get in contact with you and say, hey, I found this. And then you can find your stuff and figure out how to sync up with them. So you just have to register using the QR code that they would also use. So it's like an AirTag, but it also like gives somebody a way of reaching you. Like if you found something with an AirTag on it, that doesn't mean like you can find where your thing with the AirTag is, but they can't necessarily find you. So I could see this being really helpful even on your luggage, even though you have the AirTag in there as well. Having this there so that even the airline can just scan it and be like, hey, we have your stuff. Or like they suggested, on a backpack, one of those smaller luggage items that can sometimes get misplaced because people's look the same. Like I was just at a event the other day where someone like came over and I kind of had my purse on a table but kind of under my arm, and she was like, excuse me, that's my purse. And I was like, it's definitely not your purse, but like that would be good if for some reason I hadn't been right next to my purse and she had accidentally picked it up thinking that it was hers. She would probably eventually realize it and would be able to get back in contact with me that way. So just peace of mind. Definitely very, very small, unobtrusive, and just that extra safeguard for making sure, you know, it does take having someone who's honest find it and take the time to scan the QR code, but you know, that is another way of making sure that you hold on to your personal belongings, because stuff happens when we are traveling, when we have to put things down for a moment. So once again, great Brio box. I really, really love the inflator. I think this is an awesome thing to have in your car. It's really small. I also always love a nice charging bank. This one seems really small and wonderful. So again, we got the air pump. We got our, let's see, Luci solar light string. Again, 18 feet is a lot. The original fly fan, I am excited for that, even though I don't think I'm doing a lot of like outdoor entertaining this summer. The snap-in charge, I love that one. The nano stylus is cute. The coffee brew maker, cold brew maker, I could use it for other things, so I don't mind having that. I just have to find a space for it in my kitchen. This Keysmart recovery ID is great as well. And I think that was it. So my two favorite things out of the 7 are the air pump, even though I have something similar, and the charging bank, even though I have charging banks. I don't have any that are quite like that. So you guys let me know what you thought about this particular summer Brio box. They are very summery items. I do appreciate that. There is a seasonal element to it. There's no real duds for me this time around where I'm like, I will never ever use that. So that is a bonus. And let me know if you want to keep seeing Brio box on the channel, and I will see if I can work it into my budget. We're gonna have to juggle and move some things around towards the end of the year, but if you love seeing it here because you don't really see it anywhere else, by all means, let me know and I will try to keep it here on the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support in the form of likes, comments, and following me over on Instagram, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing. Now I get to figure out how to put everything together and put everything away. I'll see you soon.